Hey Sinoux, how are you, gorgeous? Let's get started. So thank you. We'll I'm just going to get going with the etheric balance, and we'll see where it goes. So just energetically, I am now 100% Sinoux. I am now 100% Sinoux. Okay, so give me yes, give me a no. We're in Sinou's energy field. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so where do we need to start? Adrenal, survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival, right? So there's a hidden deep survival in there. Is this the biggest priority? Just stack it in. Okay, so just stack it in. Do we need to have some flower essence energy in there? Okay, so a bark. Red chestnut, that's one of the one in the bark flower essence rescue remedy. So it's for trauma. So we'll just put that in the energy. Do we need to check your celestial circuit? Yes, we do. We need to check logical side of the brain, gestalt side of the brain, gestalt side of the brain. Okay. Okay, so visualize a purple elephant, give it a bright green hat and red roller skates. Nope. Okay. Number 64, divide by 8, multiply by 3. Yeah, right. So for whatever reason, there's logic on the right side of your brain at the moment instead of gestalt. So the big picture, it's just changing the way that the brain is zipping back and forth with information. So now the left side of the brain. Okay. So grab the number 81, divide by 9, multiply by 3, and take away 15. No. Okay. And now gestalt. I know you can do this one. Visualize your perfect space. Visualize how it feels being in your perfect space and how calming and serene and relaxing it is. Yeah, so for whatever reason your logic gestalt have flipped at the moment in your brain. So the brain is trying to think logically for things that should be emotional, emotionally for things that should be logical. So no wonder your poor little brain's struggling with that anxiety. Okay, so will I go straight into that? Do we need to get some psychological reversal? We do. Okay, want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust. So just, what a surprise to know, good old safety. It is safe to let go of this problem. Nope. It is safer to keep this problem. Yep. Okay. So we've got to reverse that. Okay. Now is it time to get into the logic gestalt? Nope. We still need more information. Yep. I just ran one of your bioresonance frequencies. So let's just see if there's anything in there that will be useful for the balance. Yeah, right. So crown chakra has been a little weak. Actually, so let's chuck the crown chakra in with its little combination. So crown, palatine, and thymus gland. So hand on your crown chakra, tongue on the roof of the mouth. So that's the palatine, and then the thymus gland. Waking up that little combination. Okay, so is it first, second, third? Okay, so that little combination is third stage stress. So chronic fatigue of your crown, palatine, thymus gland combination. Okay, is there anything else we need to do before we can get into the logic gestalt stuff? Okay, so now we can get into it. Beautiful. Okay, so let me just also very quickly have a squeeze. Nope, 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 that's all good. Yeah, right. B6 deficient. I know you struggle with B vitamins. Right, your oculomotor cranial nerve is a little inflamed. So oculo, so that's your eye muscles, are struggling at the moment. But it's making the vessels in the brain really struggle. There's some liver stress stuff, so anything you can do for your liver is good, because anxiety will just drain your liver. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so there's the old tailbone. So put your hand on your navel, rub your tailbone, and then the other way, hand on the navel, rub your tailbone. So just getting that front back of the brain energy, front back of the brain energy, stack them in. But also top bottom. So hand on the navel, rub the top bottom of the lips, hand on the navel, rub the top bottom of the lips. Okay, anti-clockwise over the heart, that just helps a little switching sort of area. Do we need to add in more psychological reversal? Nope, nope, nope. Okay, so now we're going into the thalamus, the thalamic reticular switching. Yeah, okay. Okay, so there's a pain and punishment circuit shutting down the ability for your thalamus to function properly. The thalamus is like the radio receiver in your brain, so it's taking in information from what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're speaking, and then it's deciding whether or not these areas of your brain are stressed or not. So that is obviously a challenge. So when the brain is going too much information, doesn't want to see anything, doesn't want to hear anything, certainly doesn't want to feel anything, and it doesn't want to have to make any decisions. So it just makes the anxiety higher and higher and higher and higher. Okay, now I'm going to just check the oxygen in the thalamus. No. Yeah, so there's poor oxygen levels in there. Okay, what about mind? Yeah, so your mind is so powerful as well, because your mind is so busy thinking. It's also taking away energy away from the thalamus. So the thalamus wants to run away, escape, submission, freeze in the thalamus energy. And let's check glial cells. So the glial cells are also struggling in the thalamus. So there's more glial cells in the brain than there is neurons. And if the glial cells aren't working, sometimes that can be messing with the ability for the brain to detox properly. It can be messing with the ability for the brain to regenerate the neurons. So you can end up with the little coating on the neurons just not being coated. So that can lead to anxiety and stress and high glutamate level in the brain and thing. Beautiful. Okay, so now we're going to go into PVSS, periventricular survival system. So it's the sensory nervous system and the sixth sense and any of the WTF else. Yeah, okay. So where do we need to start, little nervous system? Okay, anterior cingulate gyrus. So with all of the stress going on in your brain at the moment, your brain is feeling like you've made wrong decisions under stress, and it's feeling like, oh my God, why have I done this again? So it's basically picking on yourself for every decision you've ever made. But as you know, you made decisions with the knowledge that it was the best decision at the time. So as always, we've got to go, you did it with the best knowledge at the time that you had. Okay, and there's some real anger deep inside at yourself for making decisions that aren't working for you in this here and now. Okay, next little area showing up is the orbitofrontal cortex. This is the one about conflict. Fear, threat, danger. So your brain hates conflict. Your brain would just much rather everything just cruise along all the time. No particular problems, which wouldn't that be wonderful? Yeah, but that's that one that's got that little 6-second loop, so it knows you're struggling so much that it's shutting down your ability to make decisions without anxiety, because it wants you not to be making decisions under duress. But the duress is part of that survival pattern that's in there at the moment. Okay, the next little area showing up is the subclausal gyrus. Escape, submission, freeze. Okay, so the subclausal gyrus is the one that's everything on the spectrum, from rage and anger at one side down to depression and, you know, wanting to rock in the floor at the other end, and anxiety somewhere in between. So with this one, it's very much about that genetic inherited, and I know we've done loads and loads and loads of work, but nonetheless, it's sort of in there as part of that genetic memory, genetic inherited belief systems and core values and that sort of thing. Okay, next little area is the reticular activating system. That's the little part in behind the brain stem that controls the hormones you release when something new is happening in your world, and your whole world is about to change. So the nervous system's going, holy crap, what are we doing here? So let's go have a look. Right, so for a start, it's shutting down your serotonin. Oh, when I started, by the way, Sinoux, I sort of said minus all nutrients, minus any supplements, and minus any medications. So that was part of my setup. So this is without any medications in the background. There's low serotonin levels, creating vigilance in the nervous system. So the nervous system really struggling just to hold it together. And those things we need to increase our feel-good hormones, serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. It's the hugs, it's the laughter, it's the compliments, it's the friendships, it's the spending time with people, even ourselves in meditation. So our brain doesn't know what's real and imaginary. So any good stuff you tell yourself when you are doing your meditation and your inner work, it's pretty bloody powerful. Okay, next one is reticular activating system, round 2. Right, So this one is your brain. It's about directing attention and focus, which is also switching on your vigilance, your nervous system. So your nervous system is focused on so much stuff that's going on at the moment. It's not giving your nervous system time to relax, chillax, and be happy. It's fun to be a human. It is fun to be a human. It is fun to be a human. I do believe in fairies. I do believe in fairies. I do, I do, I do. Okay, periaqueductal grey matter. So this is the part of the brain that holds the behavioural memory of what we do when we're stressed. So we all do different things under stress. And, you know, some people will eat, some people will drink, some people will tidy, some people will go for a big run, some people will punch people or get angry, you know, so we're all different. So this is sort of the behavioural reactions, and that behaviour, especially when we're feeling anxious and we're in a space where we can't do what would feel right to do, it's like we've got all this nervous system energy in there and we can't do anything. So it's dying to escape. So this little part of the brain just tells me your nervous system is holding on to the energy that it really wants to use to get out there and do what you would in a perfect world do. If the world was perfect and you would do anything under stress, it would allow you to utilize that energy. Just going to pause for a sec. I've got someone picking up some supplements. Hold on 2 seconds.